Good morning, dear students of class 10. How are you? I hope you are doing fine. Today I am here to teach you the poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. Now, who is Robert Frost? Who is Robert Frost? Robert Frost is an American poet whose date of birth is 26 January 1874. He was born where? In San Francisco. He has written various poems like A Boy's Will in 1913, A Farther Range in 1936. The poem Dust of Snow was published in New Hampshire in 1923. He won Pulitzer Prize for this. He is Robert Frost. Now, Robert Frost, I call him a poet with a difference. Why, If you go through other poems like Road Not Taken, Fire and Ice, Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening, you will find why I said this. Because in the poem, Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening, Frost here chooses to stand on a place along with his horse. In that place, Frost, what he does? He stands at a place where there are no farmhouses. And his horse thinks it to be queer, strange, that why did his master stand there? Because no farmhouses are there. Similarly, in the poem Road Not Taken, you will see Robert Frost chose a path traveled by less number of people. And also in the poem Dust, Fire and Ice, he tries to find out how the world will end, by fire or by ice. The topics are a bit different. Frost doesn't like to go with the crowd. In the poem Dust of Snow also, you will see that Robert Frost's mood is changed by a very small action of the crow. Now what happens? Why the name is Dust of Snow? What happens actually? Let's find out. This particular poem has 8 lines. 4 plus 4. 4 lines each stanza. Total 2 stanzas. The name of the poem is Dust of Snow by Robert Frost, an American poet. Now, the first stanza, we'll talk about the first stanza. What is that? The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Here 2 words are important. One is crow, another one is hemlock tree. Very important, I'll tell you. All of a sudden, the poet says, all of a sudden, the crow comes from nowhere. And the crow sits on a poisonous hemlock tree. Here, the crow and the hemlock tree, they stand for omen, ominous. They are very ominous. A lot of snow has already gathered. So, I told you there are 2 important things here. One is the crow, another one is the hemlock tree. A lot of snow dust has already gathered at the top of the tree. Now, the movement of the crow brings some dust of snow down. What it does? It brings some dust of snow down. The fine dust of snow falls on the poet. He is standing under that hemlock tree. So, the fine dust of snow falls on the poet, and the poet is standing under the hemlock tree. The crow is a symbol of ill omen, and the hemlock tree associated with person are not auspicious things. I repeat, a crow is a symbol of ill omen, and the hemlock tree associated with the person does not symbolize anything good. It is also auspicious. Now, The first stanza I have explained to you, I repeat. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So it's a very small event, students. A minor incident. But let's see what happens to it. Here, shook down means shook the snow dust down. Hemlock tree is a poisonous tree. Now we come to stanza 2. I've explained the first stanza to you. Now we come to the stanza 2. The hemlock tree are not auspicious things at all. I repeat, the hemlock trees are not at all auspicious. Now stanza 2. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Are you ready? Very important. Here rued means regretted deeply, felt sad. Thus this falling of fine dust of snow on him gladdens his heart. So, after the falling of fine dust of snow on him gladdens his heart, his mood is completely changed. Initially, the poet was in a sad mood. Then his mood changes. A change in the present condition of mood. Now, what happens? A change comes into his mood. His mood brightens all of a sudden. Mood brightens. The mood of the poet. How it brightens? By the small activity of the crow. He had given all hopes of saving that dull and cheerless day. But now cheerfulness replaces the sense of regret. So now cheerfulness is replaced by the sense of regret. The poet says here, and saved my some part of a day I had rued. The poet realizes that the poet realizes that the whole day has not gone wasted. Some part is still there which can be utilized. Right, students? Bhaskar, I can see Bhaskar, yes. When you are in a sad mood, what do? Yes, you try to. This is just I'm showing as if students are there in the class. You try to find happiness. Now, what makes us happy? If your mother tells, Bhaskar, today I am cooking chicken for you. I will bring pizza for you. Do you want the cricket bat, Bhaskar? Huh? But see at Robert Frost, just this minor movement of the crow, which made snowflakes fall down, that changes the mood of the poet. It's a very small thing. It is a very, very small thing. And that small thing completely changes the mood of the poet. The entire day is not wasted. Only some part of the day is wasted. He can utilize the remaining part of the day. Now, the sad mood changes. Now, at least a part of the day has been saved and redeemed. The act of the falling of the fine dust of snow on him has cheered his heart and mood. Now we come to the use of poetic device in this poem. Devices. Let's see. What are the poetic device the poet has used? Poetic device. In stanza 1, you will see, in stanza 1 we talk about metaphor. Crows shaking is compared of a snow is compared to cleansing or purifying act. Metaphor. What is metaphor? When we are making indirect comparison between two objects without using like or as. In simile we use like or as. So here Crows shaking shaking of snow compared to what? Cleansing or purifying act. Clear? Then the tone of the poem. Then we come to the tone, T-O-N-E, tone. What is that? The tone of the poem is contemplative and reflective, with a sense of wonder and appreciation for the natural world. Also, imagery is there. The entire poem beautifully describes the image, the nature beautifully described. Then there is also symbolism. Symbolism means the symbolic reference. The symbolic reference. Whose reference? If I talk about symbolic reference of the crow, snow, symbolic. Hemlock tree, symbolic. Crow represents death. Right? The crow, if I talk about this, the crow represents death or change. Snow represents purity or cleansing. Hemlock tree represents dangerous person. Hemlock tree stands for dangerous person. Also, we have used personification. What is that? Crow shook down, giving human-like action. Here, crow has been given a human-like action, shaking down. Sorry, means what? A human-like action is given. Okay, very important. So, the crow is shaking down, and one human-like action is also given here. Crow cannot do that, as if the crow is doing. So, this poem has been clearly explained to you. So, what we have observed from this poem, that Robert Frost has stated here that a very small act, the movement of crow, as when the poet was sitting under a hemlock tree, sorry, has changed the mood of the poet. So we can compare like this. Initially, he was in a sad mood. The movement of the crow changes his mood from being sad maybe to being happy. So another method I will give student from my end. This poem also shows you should try to find happiness in small things also. Always money, gold, food will not give you happiness. Even small things can give you happiness. Robert Frost shows in this poem. Now we come to the rhyme scheme, very important, of the poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So, crow, me, snow, tree. So you see here, crow, snow. Sorry, crow, me, AB. Again snow, crow, snow, A. Tree. AB, first stanza. Second stanza, heart, mood, part, rude. Heart A, mood B. Heart, part A, rude, mood, rude B. So the rhyme scheme is AB. A, B, AB. That's the rhyme scheme. I hope I've been able to explain the poem to you. If you have any doubt, you are most welcome to ask me.